Shut up and sit down.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Ken Frederick Podcast. This is episode 44, The Cheese Reviews Video Games. I want to say thank you for listening. If you stumbled across us on the interwebs, you can check us out at kfpodcast.com, facebook.com/kfpodcast, and Ken Fred Podcast on the Twitter. We got just Dawn and Justin, the
Just
Cheese,
us.
and we're going to listen to
The
Justin.
OG crew.
Yep.
Dawn and Ken and the Cheese.
No frills, all thrills.
I don't know about
What the
that.
hell?
I don't know what
I
that
mean?
is.
So let's tell them what this really is.
This is where we get to pick on Justin
This
for what
is
he
pick
likes.
on Justin for 20 to 25 minutes. Because he's
No.
going to...
We're going to let him go.
We finally decided to do a cheese-centric episode where he talks about everything that he
So I'm
loves.
talking about Gouda and cheddar and
Yeah, you know, is cheddar, sharp cheddar better than mild cheddar? You know what I mean?
yes.
Is finely shredded better than regular shredded?
Depends what you're pairing it with.
If you're melting it, yes, it's the fine, but shreds are better.
Can you eat goat cheese on a salad?
I cannot personally know.
Mindy loves goat cheese.
Yeah, me too. No, this is about video games because you love video games.
I do.
And me and Ken don't play any of these things. So we're just going to let you talk.
I play 2 video games a year. So
This ought to get us a couple views.
this is where Justin breaks it big on Twitch.
Adam's been waiting for an episode of this because he loves these games too.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's been
We've
waiting.
mentioned him twice now.
He's probably gonna be mad at me though, because
He's our favorite listener.
I'm gonna trash one of them.
Well, he's your favorite listener, and Jim is my favorite listener.
Wait a minute, are we picking the listener or the listener picking us?
I don't know what's going on.
Like, are we drafting
It got a little
listeners?
gay.
Yeah. All right, so should I read? No, it's all you. It's,
This is all you. He wrote this
all
one.
on me.
Da-da-da-da-da. Here's Justin talking about video games.
You can see Ken's head while he's clicking and dancing to this song. It's great.
I got a little too into that one.
I'm putting that on a loop. I'm putting that on a loop, and that is my new ringtone.
Oh,
That should be the intro to this podcast. That should be.
I mean, I'll sing everything eventually, horribly.
And that was a good one. All right.
Oh man. So anyway,
Your time to shine, baby. Go.
Baby goat.
Baby goat cheese.
there's actually a game, Goat Simulator, where you
I don't even
were
wanna
a
hear
little
this.
goat and you were running around doing goat things.
Do you want me to spill more water
It
in
was
your
funny.
laptop?
No, let's not do that. Anyway, so what I've been playing for like the last year.
Is with your dick.
Bazing!
Bam! Woo!
And I'm about ready to close the laptop and
No, that
take
was
my
it.
microphone and go home.
I wish we had like one of those those big bells that like dinner bells. So every time we sing, we're like,
Ding,
ah!
ding. Another singer. Go.
like a counter from the DMV where I can just hit a button every time you guys piss me off.
It's
He'll just edit us out. All right,
sorry.
we're sorry. Go ahead. What have you been playing video game wise?
So for about the last year, I've been playing a game called Ark Survival Evolved.
I'm sure we mentioned it a couple times on
Yes,
here.
Yeah.
we have.
And it is
Tell us what it is about. Give us the synopsis of the game. Please. Synopsis.
thanks, Don.
Okay.
I'm
Can
gonna
I
get
do the-
interrupted a lot.
Yeah,
in
Can I
this
do the
podcast.
synopsis of the game?
Yeah.
All right, so I've never played the game, so this will be my synopsis of the game. You're a guy on an island, and you have nothing, and you have to build your own house and catch animals and do all this building and taming of animals, so you can be king shit of the island of Ark.
For right now, that is almost 100% correct.
All right.
Woohoo!
Tell us the real version.
I mean, that's it right now. So the game came out in June last year on early access through Steam, which is an online community, if you will, where you can buy video games, but not just video games. You can buy software and stuff too, but primarily video games. And it keeps track of stats, trophies, achievements, things like that, similar to the PlayStation and Xbox communities that they have.
Steam always felt to me like this is like all the perks of having a console on your computer, because you have the community, you have all the like the community of players already in one area. Everything kind of it's like a hub for all the information.
Yep. And the other cool thing about Steam that I've found that it does a lot of indie games. It's funny, a teacher I had in high school, his two sons are now in their late teens, early 20s, but the one has a video game that he developed that you can go out on Steam and play.
That's awesome.
So it's indie. You can get a lot of stuff free.
Sorry, I just burped and blew it in Dawn's face.
Yeah, dickhead. Oh. But anyway, back to Steam.
The reaction. And you can find discounts, like old games that were really expensive when they first came out, like Call of Duties and things like that. You can get them they'll do Steam sales, and you can get them like 50% off.
That burp smelled like bologna and baby vomit mixed together.
I actually did just have a bologna sandwich.
Terrible.
Oh, that's funny.
I didn't eat any hummus yet, though. So.
Okay.
But anyway, back to the podcast.
Sorry.
It's all right. So, like I said, Ark came out in early access about a year ago, and what early access means is the game is not 100% complete, full of content, but it is playable as of the day they release it. So, and the reason developers do this is a lot of developers, it's like a startup business. They don't have money to put into developing the game, so they get a small group of people. They get the game as far as they can. And when it's at a point where it's playable, then they release it to the public, usually for much cheaper than what it'll be when the game comes to finally full release. I looked right at you. I was waiting for that. And once you buy the game in early access, you never have to pay for it again. So when the full game comes out, you have all that content.
What's a game like that cost?
So I paid $30 for it when I bought it. When it comes out supposedly right now, the official launch is December of this year.
For Ark?
For Ark.
It's been out this long?
Yeah, it's been out.
Chase plays it on Xbox.
Yeah, so it came out in Xbox. The original release date was supposed to be June of this year. And because of the community, which I'll talk about in a little bit, they have testers and modders and thousands and thousands and thousands of people playing this game. They've grown what the game is going to end up being from their original vision. Okay. So they decided not to do the official launch until Christmas time this year, and I have a feeling it's going to get delayed again, but we'll see.
He said that one eye was closed when he said that.
He's like, the Ark is going to
be winking at us on that one.
But so it came out for Xbox because Xbox and PC now, the games are getting, the technology is so close that they're almost interchangeable. So it's much easier to port a game from PC to Xbox.
Why isn't it on PS4 yet?
Because it's different technology to port the game over. And there was an article written from the development team a couple months ago. They're ready. They have a PS4 version ready to go. Mm-hmm. Sony won't let them release it in an early access form. Sony will only release the game once it hits complete 100%.
Sony likes complete release.
Yes.
They like.
They don't want any of this slow burn shit. Sony wants the complete release.
Yeah. Yes.
All over their face.
They want it all one big load.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, the other game that I've been playing recently that I picked up is called No Man's Sky.
And that's Ark in outer space.
It was supposed to be. So these two games, at least from my perspective, were very, very different in when they were coming out. Mm-hmm. So Ark came out in early access a year ago, and people have been playing it and hyping it and really...
What does that mean, hyping it? Like talking about it?
Yeah, talking about it online, talking
like,
about it.
Man, this game's sick.
Cons, yeah. And, I mean, there's Reddit forums, there's Facebook pages.
YouTube videos about it.
YouTubers.
People playing it.
Playing it all over the place. But it came out in early access, whereas No Man's Sky, the developer of No Man's Sky wouldn't release the early access version of the game. They were waiting until the game was so-called complete so that they could sell it at the premium price. So they had a larger development house that had the front-end capital to be able to take the time to develop the game without raising money. That's what Ark did, basically, as they were developing the game. They had to raise money, so they sold it. And the developer overhyped this game, quite honestly, in my opinion. All the advertisements, if you go back a year ago to some of the big electronic expos and look at the trailers that they released for the game, looked at how they were describing the game, it was probably twice the game that it is when they actually released it.
So they made it seem like it was going to be this big deal.
Yes, and the online community was absolutely crazy for it.
Not that good.
And everybody was, the second it comes out, I'm going to be online. I'm going to exploring galaxies, and I'm going to be doing this and that. And people played it for about, the average person, I think, got about 50 hours into the game and was like, okay, now what do I do?
It's that bad?
Yeah. It's not bad. It's
Boring.
repetitive, and it's boring. And once you hit...
What's the word you use for it?
It's grindy.
Grindy. Grindy means you take it out and you rub it all... No, that's not what that means.
No.
My mind keeps telling me no, but my body.
So what I consider to be grindy is these... In Ark, if you don't change some settings in Ark can be grindy too.
Grindy is like, you have to go like...
You have to go
dig
and mine
for metal.
Yeah,
you have to
mine metal for an hour, and then it weighs so much you got to take it back to your base in multiple trips.
One time I saw Chase play an Ark, and he was literally shooting this dinosaur with an arrow for like an hour.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, watching a YouTube video while he's doing it. And he's like, "Oh, you just got to shoot this thing like a million times
until it
and
passes
I'm like,
out."
This is dumb. Like, there's no way I'd waste all that time doing it. He's like, "Well, you just got to do it. You'll get the reward later." So that's grindy.
Yes, that's great because
there's nothing to do with
not
her
only
crotch or anything.
No.
Or R. Kelly.
Yeah, or R. Kelly.
So not only do you have to sit there on the time and sit there and shoot the dinosaur, but before you were able to do that, you had to gather all the materials to make the arrows that you're shooting at the dinosaur.
That sounds crazy. Play a Lego game. It's much more easier.
So part of Ark, though, is you have the ability to go in and change the settings in the game.
To make it less grindy.
So you can make it when you hit the button once to pick up a rock, instead of picking up one rock, the way my settings are right now, I pick up 20 rocks. So
Justin don't waste no time.
I don't mess around. I don't have hours and hours and hours and hours to sit there and do
Isn't
this.
that cheating, though?
Well, technically you do, but...
not like some of these guys play, but it's... I up all the settings to make it more fun. I know the mechanics of the game. I played probably a couple hundred hours on this game in just the regular default settings, and it started to get old, and I wanted...
You wanted some action.
I wanted to quit. So, I played a couple hundred hours in regular, but I was playing on a single-player world. I wasn't real big into the online multiplayer aspect of this.
You don't play like a lot of this stuff online.
Well, I'm starting to now. I just got into a really good server for Ark on their.
You like to be on your little island by yourself.
But yeah, for most of my hours that I played in this game, it's been by myself.
Do you have a wife in the game?
No.
Just your robot wife, the computer.
Yes.
Honey, are we playing Ark
Just
again?
Karen, the robot
Karen.
wife.
Yep. But anyway, so I've been spending a lot of time on Ark. So back to No Man's Sky. So after.
You have 7 minutes to wrap this up.
That's fine. I can.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I was giving you a hard time.
Shut up, Ken.
Oh.
So, No Man's Sky was... Everybody thought... All the players thought it was going to be Ark in space.
The new Ark.
Yes. And...
But then there was no dinosaurs.
There was no... Well, there's creatures, but you can't do anything but kill the creatures. You can feed them.
You can't ride them.
No, you can't ride them. You can feed them, and sometimes they run around and they'll find you a resource.
Yeah.
But it's not like you're taming them like you are in Ark.
Okay.
And bending them to your will.
Wow.
But
that was really weird. The face you made, bending them to your will, got right in there on that. Like, we're finding out secrets about what you do at night when you're not here.
There's no building in No Man's. You can't create a base on a planet.
Don't you build your spaceship?
No, you find your spaceship and then you gather resources to repair what's broken.
Doesn't it look like an X-wing fighter with no wings?
I had an X-wing fighter. Yeah, one of the ships that I had.
Does the ship get better?
Yeah, you can upgrade the ship, but you're not actually doing anything. You're finding components. Like with Ark,
you're not walking around in the ship.
No, it's all like a cockpit. You fly it, you land it, you jump out.
Oh. So this game sucks.
It's for $60. Yeah,
sounds like it.
For $60, go buy Fallout 4.
Yeah. And
or go buy a bunch of Lego games.
So moving on, one of the next things I was talking about that I've already talked about a little bit is the online community and how they've affected both games. Where Ark, the online community, everybody, I mean, there's trolls everywhere. But the majority
In
of
the game's
players,
like trolls.
no,
Oh,
like
okay.
online, like internet trolls.
Dumbass.
What a dumbass.
But the majority of the people that play Ark,
Are nice.
are nice people. You don't have idiots out there. Now, there are some exceptions on the public servers where you get these, what they call alpha tribes, where it's people who do nothing but play this game all day. And if I were to go create a brand new character...
It's like if you didn't have a job. This is
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you would
that's
be.
what these people do. And they literally play in shifts. So they'll have teams in their tribe, and there will be multiple people from each tribe, from these alpha tribes online at all times. And I jumped on a public server one day just to see what would happen. Within 10 seconds of my character spawning, I was dead because I spawned too close to one of these bases. And I'm like, I'm level 1. You're level 120. Why? Let me run around and see what...
Do you spawn naked?
Yes. Not naked. You have like...
And afraid? Or just
You have like
Loincloth.
little loincloth on in this little chip thing in your arm that
And is
you
there
don't know what
guns
it's
in this
about.
game too?
You get to a tech level where you build guns.
There's guns in Ark?
Yeah.
I thought it was all bow and arrows and shit.
There's a couple different, some of the mods and stuff that we won't get into because I could talk about that for 3 hours.
Oh, please do.
But yeah, so in the basic game, there's progressions. You start out with
Excuse me.
stone tools and you move up to metal tools, and then you get into like bows and arrows, and then you move up into a crossbow, and then you can craft a gun. And then there's a new tier that's supposed to be coming with some of the next updates, a tech tier, where I think they're going to get into lasers and crazy stuff like that.
Lightsabers.
There was a mod. They called it Stark Wars, and it was lightsabers, and there was
Man
different different armor that you could
this-
get that made you look like a stormtrooper.
Go ahead.
And
This sounds like the cartoon Dino Riders.
It does. Did you ever see Dino
Yeah, I
Riders?
remember that.
Where the aliens land on a planet, they would put like weapons all over
Yeah,
dinosaurs.
yeah, I remember
And
that.
attack them, and they had all kind of.
Yes, I'm sure the developers, because all the developers.
Dino Riders was a good show. I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, parts of it were good.
Let's take over this podcast and talk about how great Dino Riders were.
But anyway, so the Ark community.
Dino Riders!
Jesus Christ. The Ark. What I'm trying to get to, my point here is
Yeah.
the Ark community has enriched the game.
The
There's
art community?
Ark.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
There's people out there who the developers actually put out what they call a dev kit, where I could
you can
download this
develop.
dev kit and I could go and take the base code from the game, and I could create new items, new animals, whole new scenarios, new maps, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they've actually the development team, they actually hired, they did modding contests, and so they had these people develop these extensions to the game.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 of the people who've won the contest now work for Wildcard Studios in their development as
Are
part of
you
their
gonna try
development
and
team.
do it?
No, because I'm not a developer. That's beyond my skill level. I
Skill
just
set.
am not into that.
Do you prefer to play all by yourself or play with those people in the community? Not pervertedly. Ken.
No, I was going to be like, I was going to sing all by
You're gonna
myself.
sing all by yourself. Come on, get out of the way.
No.
I do like playing on my own single player world because I can put the settings wherever I want them. So if I,
You used to be a big Minecraft guy.
yeah,
Is this like Minecraft but cooler graphics?
I think so. A lot of it.
Yeah.
There's the thing that differs about this with Minecraft. You could dig into the world. You couldn't just. It wasn't. The landscape wasn't static. Where in this game, the landscape is static. You can mine rocks. You can mine trees.
I don't know
and
what
stuff.
that means. What do you mean?
It means so like Minecraft, you can just stand here and
And
just
dig
start
straight down.
digging straight down. Ark, you can't do that.
Why?
It's because of the game engine that the game is built on. It's not designed for that.
So you have to dig like a big hole.
You can't
there's
dig
no
any
digging.
holes. It's just there's rocks sitting on the surface.
Oh, you can't dig
that-
at all.
They look as part of the environment, but you can harvest those rocks.
Okay.
But you can't dig down.
You can't dig down.
Yeah. I don't really understand how that mechanic works, but it's part of the game engine that doesn't allow that.
Okay.
But so back to the online community, whereas
Alright.
like I said, Ark, the online community enriched the game. No Man's Sky, I think, has been damaged by the online community because as soon as the game came out and people got bored with it within between 20 and 50 hours, everybody started blasting it. And everybody started, there was whole Reddit pages of how this is what they promised and this is what they delivered and it sucks and here's 5,000 reasons why. And then you get 5,000 other people going, yeah, you're right, that does suck. And at first they came out, well, since we're just releasing this as a full game, it's $60. There's going to be no paid downloadable content ever. Then a week later they came out, well, if we can afford to do no paid downloadable content, we'll do it. And then it was like, now it's looking more likely where the downloadable content is going to be charged for. And the game is a really good concept. It just wasn't executed well. And I don't even... If they hadn't promised so much, I don't think people would be so mad. Because they just, like I said, they overhyped this game and they said it was going to be able to do things that it's not. The entire universe, it's something ridiculous, like 16 quadrillion star systems that you could visit if you had 1 billion years to play the game.
Yeah, but it's a boring game.
Exactly. And
I can play a quadrillion games of tic-tac-toe, but I'm not, because I'm not stupid.
and
Sorry, I had to.
It's supposed to be multiplayer, like online multiplayer, because this is similar to World of Warcraft, where when you play World of Warcraft, everybody's in the same world.
Yes.
This is supposed to be the same way, but there were 2 Twitch streamers on the first day of gameplay, ended up on the same planet at the exact same place, and they could not see each other.
Oh wow.
And so that
Was
went
one
viral.
of them John Cena? Is that why?
No, it was not.
Sorry.
But so that went viral, of course, and people then started blasting the game even further. Oh, it's not actually multiplayer, and so
this game sounds like a piece of shit.
it's like
You're
I
not
said.
playing it anymore, are you?
No, I've gone back to Ark. The
Did you
reason
get
I
your
went back
refund?
to Ark, I did not, because you could only get the Well, no, I'm waiting to see if they develop more content.
Want me to make some phone calls for you?
Yes, please do.
Who you gonna call?
But
Don't worry about it.
about the time I was getting bored with No Man's Sky, the developers from Ark came out with a whole new extension. Now, you had to pay for it, but it was only $19.
Okay.
So I happily went and paid for it, and that's what I've been
yeah, I
playing.
mean, you've
for the
wasted
last
money on less
3
things than
weeks.
that. So
Yeah. But the coolest thing about Ark, I think, for me, that's kept me involved the whole time, is in the beginning there were new content, new updates a couple times a week. Now it's slowed down a bit when they're getting towards the final version of the game, but still, every couple weeks, once a month, there's brand new content coming out to the game. There was this whole new extension that was a whole new map and new mechanics that they just released, which sucked me back in because I'd actually started to get a little bored with Ark. But then there's the whole modding community, so you can make, there's anything. Like I said, there was the Star Wars mod where you could build X-Wings and fly around this alien civilization, whatever it is, in an X-Wing fighter.
it's not getting too out there and not in a way
Not for me yet. It's given me. I've got like 1,800 hours
Jeez.
in this game in the last year and a half.
Thinking of all the stuff you could have done.
I know. I
Could
could
have
have
saved.
Think of all the
spoken a
young,
new language. I could
think of
have.
all the young ladies you could have took out on dates. And
Yeah.
Shorter shrugs.
But anyway, so I said the last thing I was going to talk about here.
think of all the Lost you could have watched.
I could have watched a lot of Lost. A rating for each game. I'll use my
this cheese wheel?
standard cheese wheel rating system.
Oh, I love a cheese wheel rating system.
I
Do No Man's Sky first. Cheese wheel ratings.
two
2 cheese wheels.
cheese wheels for No Man's Sky.
Wow, that's low, folks.
And Ark,
I mean, that piece of shit movie Suicide Squad got 4 cheese wheels.
I love this game with the way that all the development, the continued progress. I give Ark a 5.
5 out of 5 cheese wheels.
5 out of 5 cheese wheels. It gets
Whoa,
a perfect
man.
cheese.
It's just one big slice of cheese. One big hunk of cheese.
I have a problem with that
Why?
because there's got to be something better. There's going to be something better than it. Eventually.
There's nothing better than it, Ken.
There's going to be something.
It's Fallout.
this-
It's Fallout is for you. Ark is to him.
I wouldn't give Fallout a 5.
What would you give it then?
This isn't my podcast.
Technically, it is has your name on it.
This isn't my video game review.
So, what's better for you than Fallout?
Nothing, but I don't think it's.
This is your favorite game of all time, right?
Yeah.
What does Karen?
This is
think
I've
about it?
spent more way more hours on this than any other game I've ever played.
You feel like you wasted 24 hours of your life, 18 hours of your life, or whatever. Only 18 hours. Oh, how many hours?
1,800
hours. Okay, Christ, 18 hours. This is one day.
Yeah, I've actually.
Have you requested off work just so you can play Ark?
No, I have not. I'm not that.
Have you played Ark while you're supposed to be working?
No.
Yes.
Yes, I have. I will say that. Yes.
All right. I've done a lot of stuff while I'm supposed to be working.
Womp, womp.
Womp, womp. All right. So, anything else you want to add to your little podcast?
No, I think that's about it. I think you guys ridiculed me enough.
We were nice to you. Come on. We drew and I ripped apart this glow pen and we did everything else. But that's good. So
Don's face.
yeah, Ken made a baloney burp in my face. We've been on a journey together for 25 minutes. So go play Ark. My kids are gonna like I said, Chase plays Ark on Xbox. He loves it. They play it all night long. Every morning I have to hear about raids that they did and all this stuff that I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. And I'm like, okay, that's great. The thing I think is goofy about it is that they're adding all, like, there's dragons in it and weird. It should just be dinosaurs, but I don't know. How many more different? Is there King Kongs in it?
Yeah.
Is there King Kong?
What's it called? Just a giant ape?
Megapithecus.
Is there the things from Tremors in it?
There's a thing they call.
Can you tame a giant ape?
Yes.
And ride around on its back?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Do you have a big monkey as a friend?
Super powerful. Yes, I do in my one game.
Do you have to carry does an eagle have to carry a giant scorpion for you to take care of this?
Not to tame that one, no.
Okay.
No.
You have a giant eagle? Pterodactyl?
I do.
You have a giant eagle. Yeah, you opened one in your world so you get sushi every All right. Well,
what's the coolest thing you've ever done in Ark? I played
laid with a lady. Do you have a lady friend in there?
I do not.
You have a wife. You can't get a wife in Ark?
No.
You can't tame a woman?
Nope.
You can't tame a woman?
Well, there is a mod called
I'm Lonely and it's a Friday night?
No, there's NPC people with non-playable characters. They have their own AI and they run around and you can tame them. And that's kind of funny, but the mod's a little buggy because it's
weird.
an amateur.
That you're taming people to do things.
Yeah, but it's you're basically creating slaves, which is terrible.
Yeah. We don't condone that shit.
But
all right,
fun game. Check it out. I think it's on sale right now because, like I said, they just released the DLC, so I think it's on sale again.
All right.
It is a little non-optimized though, so you need a pretty powerful computer to play it or play it on Xbox.
All right.
Video games.
All right.
That's what it was.
Say
Deal
goodbye.
with it.
Say goodnight.
Hey, good night.
Justin.
Peace out, everybody.